Hello everyone! I'm excited to announce that update 7.71 will be coming up soon in Star Wars: The Old Republic. This update, called Flashpoint Resurgence, will be launching on August 19th, 2025. I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff in this update. And in this video, I'll be going over everything coming with 7.71 and everything that we know is coming afterwards. The things I'm most looking forward to are Galactic Season 9 and a whole bunch of new character customizations, many of which will be available for free. But before I jump into what's coming, let's talk about what's not coming. If you've been wondering why there hasn't been any new story in Star Wars: The Old Republic for a while, there was an almost year-long voice actors strike that only got resolved in July 2025. Although the strikes ended now, the work of contacting, contracting, recording, editing, and inserting all the voice acting in all languages is underway, and presumably it wouldn't be done in time for update 7.71. We did, however, finally get some concrete news about when the next story is scheduled. Sadly, it's not with update 7.71, but will be available in later updates. So here's the timeline. First off, there won't be any story with update 7.71 because they're still catching up from the voice actor strike. But the next story, Galactic Threads, will come out with update 7.8, which is targeted for the holiday update, likely December 2025. Then, the second story that we know about, Master's Enigma, will follow up in update 7.8.1, and also there will be two date night storylines targeted for update 7.8.1 as well. We do also know that those two date nights that are coming up will be for two player fan favorites, Torian Kadera and Kira Carson. Now let's talk about what is coming with update 7.71. Galactic Season 9 will begin at its launch and will run for 26 weeks. Kai Zykin needs your help once more as a new version of Zerka combat enhancers needs to be tested. These new enhancers, they're like a stim item, can be used upon entering flashpoints and can provide new buffs. If you had a chance to try these out in Uprisings last season, they're adding a couple new ones and they're pretty fun to play with. We also got shown a whole bunch of the new rewards coming out with Season 9, including a whole bunch of new mounts on the Galactic Seasons track and from the Seasons vendors. And we also know a lot of the rewards are going to be both Andor themed as well as Yavin 4 themed. If you're the kind of player who likes working on the overall meta achievement for Galactic Seasons, doing a whole bunch of Galactic seasoning will get you the T701 rugged customization for your T7 companion. Now the focus of Galactic Season 9 is Flashpoints, and the name of the update is Flashpoint Resurgence. And it's not just because of Galactic Seasons. The developers have also made some major improvements to the Groupfinder, the primary way players find other players to run Flashpoints with. So here's the quick rundown. First off, right now it's a little funky if you have multiple combat styles when it comes to choosing which roles you have available when you're using the Groupfinder. For example, if your current combat style can be a DPS or a healer, you can only queue up as those. You can't queue up as a tank as well, even if you have it as your second combat style. You should now be able to queue up as any of the roles you have available between your two combat styles. Next up, if you've ever tried to queue up for the Groupfinder and were trying to get the random rewards either from the daily reward from the Groupfinder or from the weeklies, you may have noticed that for whatever reason sometimes you aren't eligible and may not notice till you're already done the flashpoints for the randomized rewards. This is because the way the Groupfinder works before update 7.71 is that you must have all of the flashpoints unfiltered and one randomly chosen to actually get the randomized rewards. Whether you'd uncheck some on purpose because you hate them, or if some had accidentally gotten unchecked due to various kind of quest log bugs. The change with update 7.71 is really nice. You don't need all flashpoints checked to be eligible for the randomized rewards now. In the example they showed, a player could still be eligible if they had 25 out of all of the checkboxes checked when it comes to the flashpoint list. So if you hate a certain flashpoint, you can uncheck it, or if you happen to have some unchecked accidentally, it'll still count for you and you don't have to worry about it. Next up, specifically for Galactic Seasons, they're adding something called a Flashpoint Resurgence queue, which will be a specific queue that only has 1 or 2 veteran flashpoints in it, and very specifically to help you matchmake for the weekly objectives, so that the weekly featured Flashpoint of the Week for Galactic seasons. You can also, of course, always join the normal queue too. This will help players get their specific Flashpoint for the week quicker. Next up is a change I think is pretty good, and I'm pretty happy about it. So at the moment, when you run Flashpoints through the Groupfinder, some, but not all, have cutscenes baked into them. The two that are most well known are the Essalus and Black Talon, which tend to have a lot of cutscenes, many of which are actually very long too and have a lot of player choices in them. If you're running the Essalus or the Black Talon for the first time, especially through the story or even with friends, this can be a really fun way to engage with the storyline. However, players getting these two Flashpoints, as well as any of the others that have cutscenes in them, which is not that many, can get very frustrated about these Flashpoints and these interruptions that they have to rewatch for about the billionth time. The Groupfinder itself doesn't tell you how to run Flashpoints. It doesn't say whether you should go fast, efficiently, story, RP. It just says finish the Flashpoint, and you get matched up with 3 other people who may have different goals in mind. The change that the developers are making is they are removing any cutscenes from the Flashpoints, putting a particular focus on Essalus and Black Talon. When players hear this change, they sometimes get a little worried. What happens to the light dark points? What happens to the choices that change the way the Flashpoint works? Will you still be able to see the cutscenes other ways? The answer to all of those are, don't worry, they're all still fine. First off, any Flashpoints that have choices in them will have a default laid out. It'll just kind of fade to black and not make you go through the cutscene with a choice being made automatically in the background. Second, for dark and light points, you also don't have to worry about those. Neither will be awarded, so you don't have to worry about your poor Jedi getting corrupted with dark side default choices. And third, they are not removing the cutscenes from the original and correct way to enter the Flashpoints manually. The Groupfinder actually didn't exist when the game first came out and you had to put together a group and walk in the door. There actually wasn't even any solo modes back then. Now, a majority of the Flashpoints actually have a solo story mode, so if you want to see the cutscenes, and especially if you want to take your time, you can jump right into those. As for the Flashpoints that don't have a solo story mode, most of these actually aren't that story heavy, so there aren't that many cutscenes in them to start with, and some of them don't have any cutscenes at all. But for example, if you wanted to see the Red Reaper Flashpoint cutscene, there's like a cutscene where you get to choose the fate of some Sith purebloods who are in vats of Kolto? If you wanted to see that cutscene, you'd have to manually walk in the door, and since it doesn't have a solo story mode, you would either need to A, put together a group through either general chat or with friends that you know or through your guild, or you could always try soloing it if you're a high-level, highly skilled, well-geared player. Speaking of Red Reaper, I've actually got a guide how to solo that both on veteran mode and master mode. Strong case of if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm not very good. While there is a definite downside that some players may not be aware that you can go run these Flashpoints a manual way, the upside is it should reduce a lot of friction in the Groupfinder. The Groupfinder is now providing more direction and instructions on how to run the Flashpoint. In this case, you're running it to play the content with other people rather than to watch the story together. But once again, you can always put together your own group and walk in the door and take your time and enjoy the story. Speaking of which, I'm currently fast-tracking a set of 34 different guides about all of the ways to enter all of the Flashpoints in story if they have it, veteran mode, solo story mode, master mode, and a whole bunch of information about how to pick up the story quests, including some of the kind of lesser known breadcrumb quests for those of you who are story fanatics. If you have anybody saying, oh, I'd love to see the cutscenes for this, but I don't really know how to go pick up the actual story related to it, please send them to Swtorista.com because I am so ready to take care of you guys with guides. Huge thank you to everyone supporting the Swtorista project because it's what allows me to sit down and allow my brains to turn into mush as I write down over 100 different ways and making maps for all the different ways to get into the Flashpoints. This is a series of guides I've been wanting to make for a long time, and these nice upgrades to the Groupfinder have given me the push to get them done. Oh yeah, another small little update to Flashpoints. Low-level players usually used to get 1 piece of gear per boss. Now, with update 771, they will get 2 to 3 pieces per boss. Honestly, I thought the gear drops and Flashpoints were fine before, but if you're looking to update your gear while leveling coming up, Flashpoints are going to be super fun to level up in, and there's some fantastic changes coming to free-to-play and preferred accounts that'll make that even funner. In addition to changes to Flashpoints, there's also going to be combat changes, just like usual on every patch, and it looks like they're putting a focus on Mercenary, Commando, Operative, Scoundrel, Sorcerer, Sage, and I'll have a full list on my website when they come out. So the Galactic Season 9 is the big meat of this update. That's mainly what we expect in updates that end in .1. But they've also been going back and making a lot of system changes to the game, many of them upgrades. This one's kind of a downgrade for players, but probably a good thing for the overall economy of the game. If you have a security key attached to your account, you currently get 100 free Cartel coins for every month that you have the security key attached. These free Cartel coins are awesome! Now, the thing that's currently very awesome and will be going away with this upcoming update is if you had your security key attached for months, years, or potentially even decades, then you would continue accruing Cartel coins until by the time you came back, you might have 10,000 or more Cartel coins just sitting on your account ready to go. Nice surprise for being away for so long. This obviously does a little bit of funkiness towards the economy, and so they're making a change so that you have to actually log into your account once a month to also be eligible for those free Cartel coins. No, they are not taking away any Cartel coins you earned in the past, so we're still going to have lots of players logging in after decades and finding a giant stash. However, going forward, just make sure to log into the game once a month to get your free Cartel coins. Even if you're not actively playing, just do a quick login, log out. And you can still do that even if you're free to play. Whew. Now here's something that is a pure upgrade. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this kind of stuff. So for the last couple of years, every couple of updates, they've been looking at the free-to-play, preferred, and subscribed restrictions and adjusting them and making it easier and nicer for free-to-play players. It's been a little bit at a time, some of the changes barely noticeable, but overall they've been trending towards giving free-to-play more freedom to play. This update coming up with update 7.71 is removing a huge batch of restrictions, many of which I thought they would never do, and I'm very excited about. Before I jump into this though, many players ask, are they removing the 1 million credit cap for free-to-play and preferred players? At the moment, no, they have not addressed it, but my big suspicion is they have to be very careful about this due to the economy of the game, especially due to real-world trading, which is against the game's terms of service. It can really wreak havoc on the in-game economy, and also the economy of the business of the game, because many players cite the 1 million credit cap being a reason that they subscribe. So if they ever do decide to adjust it, they're going to have to do it very carefully, and I can only imagine they don't want to touch it till they know exactly how they would want to handle it. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the awesome changes that are coming to free-to-play players. So first off, companion customizations. You can now wear them, which is especially awesome because you get some very early on as a free-to-play player. You can now use legacy titles. You can turn those on from your character sheet, which is awesome because there's a ton of legacy titles you can earn even on a free-to-play and preferred account. You can now get rest XP on a free-to-play account. I honestly didn't even know that you didn't get rest XP, so very nice little bonus there. If you log off in a safe area, for example a cantina, you will get extra XP next time you log in. Free-to-play players will now get a free cargo bay, your green bank that you can store bound items in, which is fantastic. I think preferred players already have this, so many of you may already have it, but if you're on a pure free-to-play account, especially when you're first starting, you have no place to store any cool armors that you've picked up along the way and actually equipped. Very happy about that one, to be honest. All accounts of all types will have all quick bars unlocked. Very cool. They actually updated this a while ago, so you would get more quick bars for free, but now all players, free-to-play, preferred, subscribe, will have all 6 quick bars. No unlocks needed. Nice. I think they were making jokes about this during the live stream, like, it's 2025, why do you need to pay for quick bars? It's pretty funny. Hearing them talk about these decisions that were literally made back in like 2011 or something like that. And here's one of the really big ones players have been talking about. Currently in the game, free-to-play and preferred players cannot automatically equip any purple gear with a purple border or any gear with a gold border. This is called artifact authorization. And those types of gear are restricted unless you are either A, subscribed, or B, have purchased the very expensive artifact authorization unlock from the Cartel market. Now here's the big change coming with update 7.71. Artifact authorization will no longer be required for any gear that is under level 80. So if you're leveling and you pick up a piece of purple gear, you can now wear it. If you've already been playing the game and you had hoarded a bunch of purple pieces that you're maybe hoping to use, wear, or sell in the future, you can now use them. Pull those babies out of your banks. Remember I mentioned more gear will be dropping in Flashpoints? Hey, some of that might be purple and you'll be able to wear it while leveling. This is a really cool and very generous change across the board, and I'm very happy that they made it. I'm very curious how the level 80 restriction will work exactly and what type of changes it will make on the game when it comes to players deciding whether or not they want to subscribe or if they want to purchase artifact authorization from the Cartel market. They've also said that in the last few years, instead of adding restrictions to free-to-play and preferred accounts, they wanted to put a focus on giving more benefits to subscribers. For example, the Galactic Seasons track, they added the subscriber track as a bonus set of rewards for subscribers. They also did something similar with the login rewards. You get extras if you're a subscriber. They're trying out something new from September 9th to December 9th, 2025. They're doing something called a subscriber event. It's not so much an event like the other ones where you go do quests. Instead, if you take a look at the login rewards, there will be a special type of login reward only for active subscribers in the form of a special currency. They might adjust this before it comes out, but the way it works right now, according to the developers, is that subscribers who log in at least 4 times a week will receive this currency and will be able to redeem it at a special vendor that carries gameplay-focused rewards like leveling gear, special XP and crafting boosts, and there will also be a unique companion customization reward on the vendor inspired by Andor that can be used on a companion droids 2BR8 and C2N2. And on the developer livestream, they hinted that this customization would be similar to K2SO from Andor. I'm sure we'll see more details about this event closer to when it comes out in September. They also said that the Feast of Prosperity will be coming out on October 7th through November 4th, 2025. There's also a whole bunch of new rewards that they already showed off on the developer stream. There's like 14 new rewards, including decorations and armor sets that are pared down versions of the previous ones. If you've been wanting to hear about the new Cartel Market items that are coming out, there's going to be a new hairstyle called Brush Back that is inspired by Andor. For those of you who have watched Season 2, think of Fancy Andor the dressmaker, and that's the hairstyle. If you like Fancy Andor, they're also releasing a new pair of glasses called the Nightfall Operative Glasses. Apparently the frames are dyeable and the lenses are partially transparent, so you can actually see your character's eyes. We don't have any nice, simple glasses like this in the game so far, so I actually might pick these up for myself. Mount collectors, there's going to be a new mount called the PAV-11, which is the Imperial Scout mount. It is based on the Imperial Manon taxi from the newer Manon area. As for armor, they also have a test pilot outfit in the works inspired by Andor Season 2 that they said wasn't ready to show yet when they were first showing off what was coming up, and they still haven't shown it yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing it when update 7.71 actually comes out, but it's probably inspired by this outfit from the show. If you've been keeping up with the news, which by the way I post all the time on Swtorista.com, including an ongoing calendar in the sidebar, or you can visit Swtorista.com/events. The Cartel Market Summer Sale is currently ongoing. So at the time of posting this video, they've already cycled through all the mounts being on sale, and they just started the tunings, toys, crystals, and dyes all being on sale anywhere between like 30 all the way up to like 70% off. That'll be running August 11th to August 22, give or take. And on August 23rd, all weapons will be on sale. September 4th, all armor will be on sale. And September 16th, all decorations will be on sale. Or at least many of them. This tunings crystal sale has been kind of weird. If you want a whole list of everything that's on sale, visit Swtorista.com and check in the news section. I've got a really cool new system for tracking them. So you can say screenshots of most or all of the items on sale in addition to their discount price, their current price, and what their previous price would have been. The developers are continuing to improve the look of the game, and the most recent update is going to be retouching the character select screen. It will get improved lighting and a whole new depth of field update that keeps the focus on the player character and just generally looks cool. They're also continuing to upgrade and improve the character models. They finally got through the hump of making the humans and the Chiss not look like freaks, and now things are looking a lot smoother for their character modernization plan. Next up on the docket, they just changed Mirialans to give them less neck seam, and now they're working on Ratataki, the very pale-skinned aliens with no hair. So they're gonna have mostly improvements to the texture of their skin to kind of bring it more in line with how it used to be. And a nice new update, they are changing the neck seam so that it is less visible when you're wearing armor that shows the neckline. I've got secret hopes that this is all leading to more formal wear because we couldn't have the neck showing before because of the neck seam. They're also doing some major fixes to dark side corruption, particularly for dark-skinned humans. Right now, dark-skinned humans get pretty funky when you get dark side corruption. Instead of just kind of getting more gray, a lot of the dark-skinned humans instead kind of turn really, really pale or really white really fast. They're changing the way that works so that you kind of lose pigment, turn more gray, but you'll no longer be changing from black skin to white skin when getting dark side corruption. Apparently this was a really long running bug, and they decided to go in and finally fix it while they're working on all the character modernization updates, which is pretty neat. They're also fixing 1 or 2 for Zabrak as well. Oh, here's something that was unexpected again and very exciting. In the previous update, they just kind of dumped about 1 billion new character skin colors, particularly for aliens, out of the blue. You could make like almost 100 new skin colors, especially for the alien colorful species, but there was also a ton of new colors for like Mirialans, Sith purebloods, species that are traditionally really only one color to start with. Now they're applying that same technology across the board to hair colors as well. So there's going to be a ton, hundreds of new hair and Montreal color options to character customizations for Cathar, Chiss, Cyborg, Human, Miraluka, Mirialan, and Togruta for their Montreals, and both Imperial and Republic Zabraks. Pretty much the only species that didn't get new hair colors was the Sith purebloods. So, oh my god, for example, Miraluka currently have 16 hair colors. They are going up to 74 hair colors. Togruta had 19 Montreal colors. Now they have 78 colors. So you can just make them super bright, vivid, or you could make a goth Togruta. You could make a whole bunch of new combinations when you mix that with these skin updates from last update. They did mention something about some hair colors will be Cartel market colors, for example, hot pink. I'm not entirely sure if that means there's going to be new ones you can buy or if they're just adding on to the old ones that you could buy. And ooh, while they did not mention it specifically, one of the other screenshots in the live stream showed a purple-blue Mirialan, something that was requested by players but that we don't currently have from the last update. So it looks like we're getting even more skin colors to match what's available in canon for Star Wars. If you've been enjoying keeping up with the technical updates of the game, they have had a DX12 progress report. This is not coming with update 7.71, but we did get this new information. We now have a functioning version of the game on DX12. Our next steps are to upgrade the UI technology and implement a baseline shader. We intend on working towards releasing a technical alpha on the public test server in the not too distant future. We'll communicate further details on the timeline of this test when the team makes further progress. We are very excited for this upgrade to come to SWTOR. If you don't know what DX12 is, basically, it's a type of technology that they can use to potentially make the game run smoother or have better visuals. To give a little context, DX12 is kind of the current standard, and SWTOR is using DX9, which is a couple versions back. Alright, I hope you enjoyed hearing everything that's coming up in Star Wars The Old Republic. Once again, update 7.71 is launching on August 19th, 2025, and you'll be able to take advantage of all of this new stuff when it comes out. And there's even more events coming up later in the year. If you're waiting for story, swing back by in December for update 7.8. See you in-game for Galactic Season 9, and if you need any guides about this stuff, visit Swtorista.com. If you want to show your support for these intensive news videos about your favorite game, visit Swtorista.com/support. And if you want more videos like this to show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. As always, may the Force be with you.